The legend of O'Malley's Banshee. From the moonlit shadows of Irish and Celtic lore, banshees emerge as the harbingers of death. These female spirits hold a chilling reputation, their haunting sobs, slicing through the darkest of night and breaking even the bravest of hearts. Their foreboding lament is said to be an omen of immediate or impending doom, often foreshadowing tragic events. The legend of the Banshee is often associated with tormenting entire family trees, constantly returning to terrorize different generations. A Banshee may appear as a lonely woman in antiquated attire gazing solemnly into the gurgling stream she often sits beside. Not so terrifying. The moment her bloodshot eyes lock onto you, your blood retreats from the surface as if you have been engulfed by the icy stream around her feet. Once her wail escapes her lips, it is all-encompassing, drowning your senses with sorrow and lashing your body as though physically touched. It's the only thing in the world. No longer just external but meandering its frozen path inside and clasping your soul in its chilling grip. The legend of O'Malley's Banshee should be a cautionary tale that there are things out there that are beyond our comprehension or power to control. In a secluded village nestled deep within the rolling hills of Ireland, a family known as the O'Malleys held a prestigious and ancient lineage. The O'Malleys were known throughout the land for their pride in their heritage. As the years passed and the family name grew, so too did the weight of their history. One chilly autumn evening a dense fog enveloped their village, bringing a silence that settled upon the landscape. Suddenly, a mournful screech pierced the stillness, its haunting echo resounding through the misty air. The villagers froze in place, their breath held captive by the forlorn sound that seemed to emanate from the nearby stream. Like all the village, the O'Malley household was gripped by the eerie sound. Mrs. O'Malley's heart sank as the devastating realization dawned upon her. The Banshee's lament was a mark of death that cast its shadow over her family like it had for previous generations before. Throughout the night the Banshee's wail remained a haunting presence, lingering like a phantom in the minds and ears of the villagers. They whispered their theories in hushed tones, wondering what they had done to deserve this. As day rolled into night and back again, a messenger arrived from the south bearing news of a battle in which the O'Malley patriarch had fought valiantly but succumbed to his injuries. The family's legacy was forever altered and the Banshee's lament had been proven true. Her eldest son, in his fury, decided to hunt down and slay the Banshee for tearing his family apart. He roused an angry mob to find the Banshee that night and set off into the fog. By the arrival of morning the group solemnly returned with a body wrapped in cloaks. When Mrs. O'Malley saw the looks on the faces of the returning villagers, her throat knotted immediately. Looking back at her from the bundle of cloaks was her son, a frozen scream on his face and total fear set in his cold, dead eyes. Following the death of her husband and eldest son, Mrs. O'Malley became a ghost of her former fierce self. The youngest children left the homestead in the months that followed as the house fell into total decay. Mrs. O'Malley's depression eventually led to her death. Although the Banshee was not heard by the village again, Mrs. O'Malley's nightly crying mirrored the sorrowful noise of the Banshee. If you are unfortunate enough to encounter this ancient ethereal entity, your chance of escape is limited. The best option is prevention rather than cure. Stay home and avoid areas of wetland at night. However, if you do venture out, luck needs to be on your side to avoid despair. Listen and heed the warning that the Banshee represents, be aware of surroundings and take extra care, while slowly retreating. Keeping your composure is essential as you avoid eye contact, cover your ears and avoid further provocation, and you may just survive. Maybe. Sleep well.